Welcome back everybody to another episode of Direct Comparison. In today's episode, we're looking at the recently released Division 2 private beta, and seeing how it compares visually to its predecessor, The Division. For this analysis, both games will be played on the PC platform with a Core i7-8700K processor and a 2080 Ti. Both games will have their settings pushed up to their highest value, though for the sake of stability, I'll keep the games at the defaulted DirectX 11 modes, and I'll be keeping the sharpness at the defaulted 7 as well. Both games do have very dynamic weather cycles, so for this early video I won't be able to match up the timing perfectly, but it shouldn't affect the topics I plan on covering today. Also, please keep in mind that The Division 2 is still in its beta state, and while it's not common in this day and age for the game in its beta state to really change much by release, it's still possible, and I'll be making an updated comparison when The Division 2 officially releases. Okay, so to start off, let's look at the character models and textures. This is something I definitely want to look closer at with the full release, as the current beta version of The Division 2 doesn't allow you to freely customize your character, making it near impossible to really directly compare the actual visual quality. But based on the models and animation work, it is pretty easy to tell that nothing has changed here, either for better or worse. The Division 1 was already a very graphically impressive title, regardless of how much they downgraded the original game from its initial E3 debut. The character models are highly detailed, with smooth animation work, high-resolution textures, and plenty of little details like little pouches, bags, and texture variety. I also tested out some of the basic animations just to see if they had created anything new, and it looks to me that this is quite literally a direct copy and paste job. That's not necessarily a bad thing, don't get me wrong. The cover-to-cover animations and movement controls were all perfectly fine before, so there's really no sense in changing it. Moving on from the character models, let's take a look at the environment. The original game took place during the winter in the streets of New York City. Snow blanketed the city and could be found everywhere, even building up on the player if they stayed outside during snowfall. In The Division 2, players explore the streets of Washington, D.C. in the middle of the summer, so there's no longer any snow-related effects or textures. That being said, the actual textures of various surfaces like vehicles, benches, and clean streets remain the same level of quality. There's some new textures to accompany the new setting, but nothing was really downgraded or improved really. Though I did want to take a moment to appreciate the incredible level of detail in the level designs in both games. There's an incredible amount of debris littering the streets, with trash bags overflowing from the sides of apartment buildings, trash blowing in the wind and getting stuck in trees, and old Christmas decorations left around from before the outbreak. This level of attention to the environment seems to have been carried over into The Division 2, and looks just as good, if not better, now that the streets are clear of any snow that would have otherwise hidden a lot of this detail. But now we move on to The Division's crowning achievement, its lighting effects. It's clear from both this series and the recently released Assassin's Creed Odyssey that a great deal of work has gone into the advanced volumetric lighting effects used in Ubisoft titles. Sure, there's times where it seems a bit exaggerated, but it's still impressive regardless. The way environmental light bounces off the thick haze in the morning and glows in the middle of the night with heavy snowfall is gorgeous, and this carries over into The Division 2 as well. However, because of the lack of that heavy snowfall, the nighttime scenes won't look quite as impressive. Though, now that it's summer, occasional rainstorms will occur, and the haze left from it afterwards will create similar impressive lighting scenarios. The overall color tone and aesthetic of The Division 2 is far more colorful than what was possible in the original game due to the change in setting. Bright green trees and colored smoke help to really bring out the rich color palette in the sequel, whereas the original game was mostly a sea of neutral colors. The shadow quality seems to have been improved slightly, with the Nvidia special effects used in the original game not appearing as crisp in motion when compared to the more consistent shadow quality in The Division 2. Moving on from shadows, we have special effects. Again, not much has really changed here. The fire effects, while appearing slightly different because of that volumetric light, is still pretty much identical. Blowing up a gas can or throwing an incendiary grenade causes an initial explosion that results in a tuft of smoke fading almost immediately while the fire lingers on. It's strange that there's still no smoke effects from player-initiated fires, especially when there's clear smoke effects from environmental fires in the world. The Division 2 does feature more emphasis on water effects and reflective surfaces thanks to its new summer setting. Rainstorms will cause the world to look all wet and reflect environmental light, and deeper bodies of water will react to the player's presence and even ripple and cause debris floating in the water to bob around. The Division 1 has plenty of wet surfaces on the streets from points of melting snow, but I don't recall there being any deep bodies of water, at least not in the main city street areas. Next, we have grass. Again, The Division 1 takes place during heavy snowfall, so it wouldn't really make sense for the team to put effort into making the grass look nice. So in the rare instance that you do happen to find some blades of grass sticking out of the snow, it doesn't react to the player's presence in any way. The Division 2, however, does need to put more emphasis on its vegetation, and grass effects move realistically based on player interaction, similar to how it functions in Ghost Recon Wildlands. Particle effects were also an impressive feature from the original game, especially considering how frequently heavy snowfall would occur. Particles are still a big part of the sequel, but rather than seeing snowflakes, you'll see things like dust particles and grass floating around. And then there's destructibility. One of the coolest features showcased during the Division 1's initial reveal was the high level of destruction caused to a nearby cop car during a firefight. This level of quality wasn't exactly the same in the final build, but still impressive nonetheless, and it appears to have been carried over into the Division 2 almost exactly. Bullets will punch huge holes in the sides of the vehicle, and even pop tires. The windows will break based on the position and amount of damage to them, rather than just shattering as a single object like it would in most games. Finally, let's see if anything has changed in the sound department. Which game do you think has the better sound mixing?
How the hell are you?
So overall, it looks to me that more focus went into bolstering up the sequel's content rather than making significant leaps forward visually. I think the shift to a brand new summer setting was the right move, as it really helps set the sequel apart from its predecessor without requiring much effort on the development side. I still want to make a more detailed comparison once I get more time to sit down and match up the times of day and try and copy the character models directly, but for now I think The Division 2 is shaping up to be a solid game, and one that makes very few compromises visually to deliver an entirely new experience for fans. However, I did want to note one more thing regarding The Division 2, and that's performance. While typically The Division 2 runs beautifully, I did run into a frequent issue that appears to be caused by a memory leak. I was getting around 100 to 120 frames on average, but after a while the game became more and more unstable, dipping as low as 40 FPS. The same situation happened to a friend I was playing with, who also had a decently powerful build, stating that the game was averaging in at around 30 FPS at one point. Restarting the game fixed the problem almost immediately, so this is likely a major bug in the game that will need to be addressed before the game releases. But what do you guys think? Do you think The Division 2 looks better, worse, or the same? Let me know in the comment section, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos like this posted every week.